everyone, it's time to leave Istanbul and head back to the US. And today we're flying Turkish Airlines Business Class. Let's go. This is gonna be our first time flying Turkish Airlines Business Class on a 787. Super excited. This might be my first time flying business ever on a 787. I might have flown it once a while ago, but I don't remember. We're gonna get to check out the Turkish Lounge as well here at Istanbul. I'm told it's one of the nicest lounges in the world, but first, let's get through security. So that's the first time I've experienced having to go through security right as soon as you walk in. And now we get to go to the business class check-in. Business class check-in, here we go. It's like the nicest looking check-in area I've ever seen. Literally, the check-in area looks like a lounge. This is nuts. Hi, how are you?
Where are you from?
To Houston. Houston, US, yeah.
Yeah. So first one is special security check over there.
Okay, we have to go over there first.
All
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Just to the desk?
Yeah.
Hi, we're going to Houston.
Did you receive any item from other people to care for them?
Thank you.
Now we can
Hello, welcome. This is your destination, sir.
Houston.
Is your flight time 2:50, sir?
Yes. All right, pretty easy check-in experience. We just had to do a secondary security check since we're flying to the US. And now I believe we also get a fast track through passport control. I'm gonna turn the camera off here while we go through passport control. And that's it, literally 45 seconds through security and another like 10 seconds at passport control. That was probably the easiest time I've ever had going through security in a foreign country. That's awesome. I like this airport already. Wow, this airport looks like a mall.
Fendi, Prada, Saint Laurent.
Yeah, wow. I'm getting flashbacks to the Avenues Mall in Kuwait. This literally looks like that prestige section that we walked through. Louis Vuitton, Gucci. This is actually crazy. Found a little info kiosk. Maybe we can figure out where the lounge is from here. Oh, you, and see. Looks like it's down that way. We're here. I think it's this way because this is all like broken up like this, and this is one big thing like that.
So you think we're going that way?
So I think we're going this way. All right. That map didn't help a ton, but I think we might have figured it out. We can always ask on our way. There are so many high-end brands here. Dior has a kiosk. Even have like Canada Goose jackets. This is like a thing in the Middle East where like their airports are kind of like malls, but I didn't really expect Istanbul's to be like that as well. Oh, lounge business. So I'm very happy we have lounge access here because Istanbul Airport is known for being the most expensive airport in the world. There's like $35 sandwiches, $15 bottles of soda. It's like crazy because they know they have you captive here. They really upcharge everything. Here we go, the Turkish Business Class Lounge. Super excited for this. Morning. Thank you. So we have meeting rooms, food court, and restrooms here. And then over on the other side, more meeting rooms, the concierge, work areas, lockers, prayer rooms, showers. So you really get everything here. And if you look, you have all these really nice looking lockers to store your bags, which actually I might do with this, to be honest. But let's see if we can find a seat first. This would be a very quiet lounge if they weren't jackhammering, doing some construction across the way. Wow, look at this. Fresh made food. They have a whole like food court here. TV set up with the news. It smells so good in here, guys. They have a whole museum section, the history of Turkish Airlines. We'll check that out in a little bit. All right, so we found a table, but first things first, I want to throw this bag in the lockers so that we don't have to deal with it. All right, so here we go. Pop the suitcase in. We close, and then it looks like this is fingerprint authenticated. So now it's locked, and then if we want to open it, that's so cool. And then it looks like you can open and close it multiple times with the same fingerprint. That's sick. All right, now it's about 11:30 a.m. and I haven't eaten yet. So let's check out some of these food options. So we first have a bunch of self-service options for beverages, waters, sodas, fruit juices, milks, things like that. Looks like there's another one over there with more options as well. Look at all of this fresh food. Homemade Turkish ravioli, different spices you can put on it. They have like meatballs, Turkish meatballs, chicken, full salad bar, different fresh vegetables, olives, cheese, croutons, even some like sliced chicken, different dressings, Caesar dressing. I love a good Caesar salad. And then even more hot food over here. What do we have here? Different like pastas, rigatoni, vegetables and noodles, different bread options, baguettes, whole wheat. We even have lentil soup, chicken soup, and all of this stuff, as you can see, is being prepared fresh. Look at this, guys, different peas, turkey. What's up? English? It's okay. Okay, no problem, no problem. I'm being told not to film, so I'm just gonna grab some food and then head back to the table and we'll talk about it there. Let's check this out. This is like a lemon lime mint drink. I'm assuming it's like a minty Sprite. Let's give this a go. Oh, it's not carbonated. That's super weird. If it was carbonated, I think I would like it more. Mine's like totally flat. Yeah, like almost 100% flat. We got this rigatoni, and then we got two of these pies. One of them is a minced beef and cheese, and the other is turkey and cheese. I'm assuming this is the beef, and that is the turkey. So let's give this beef one a go here. Oh, that's really good. I could make a meal off of this alone. Bread is nice and crispy. It's so fresh. I've never had like lounge food this fresh. Let's try the turkey one now. The turkey one's a little drier. A lot drier. Not bad. I think I would prefer the beef. Let's try this rigatoni. The rigatoni, you can tell, has been sitting out for a little bit, so it's not that hot. Taste is good, but needs to be hotter. I would definitely go back for some of that minced beef pie though. So you saw before, the guy told me not to film, so I don't really want to take the camera around too much, but you've pretty much seen most of it. There's a couple of other food stations. If I see anything interesting, I'll bring it back to the table and show it to you. But other than that, that's the Turkish Airlines Business Lounge here in Istanbul. Okay, so Kat found a couple more things, brought it back to the table. So this looks like a very thin flatbread. Not sure what's in it. Let's try it. It's like a really thin layer of Parmesan cheese. Yeah, I'm a bread and cheese guy, so no complaints here. bread is nice and crispy. It's really warm. And they're all made fresh right there as you pick them up. If you threw a little bit of like minced meat or something in the middle, I'd be super happy with that, but even as it is, it's still good. And this here will look familiar if you watched our food tour video from the other day. It's basically Turkish dumplings with a yogurt sauce, and then on top is sumac spice. Let's see if this one stands up to the one we got in this city. I'd say this is pretty close. Yeah, I think we got a meal here, guys. So one of the really unique things about the Turkish Airlines Business Lounge is that they have this. Basically, an entire section kind of turned into a museum of the history of Turkish Airlines. They tell you about how the airline was established back in 1933, but the first international route wasn't added until 1947 when they started flying to Athens, Greece. Here's a little model of one of the first Turkish planes, and they have all these different ads that they used to run back then. And then in the 50s, they added the routes to Cairo and Beirut and Cyprus. And then adding Rome in 1957 really made them a strong airline in Europe. Here's another one of their old planes, the DH-114 Heron 2B. This thing only held 14 passengers. And you can see when they started advertising their Frankfurt route and kind of really venturing into Europe. Then in the 70s, they added the DC-10, which was their first wide body. And this really allowed them to start expanding more into Europe, since it gave them the ability to fly longer ranges. Eventually, they added the Airbus A310s, and that allowed them to start flying ultra long haul to like New York and Singapore and places like that. And it just keeps going through the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and all the way up to today. And this is what we're going to be flying today. The current generation Turkish Airlines 787 Business Class. And Turkish does actually hold a record for the airline that flies to the most countries. There's really very few places that Turkish doesn't fly, especially out of their hub in Istanbul. I just think it's really cool to have all this stuff. I wish more airlines celebrated their history this way. And there we have it, guys. That was the Turkish Airlines Business Lounge here in Istanbul. Overall, I give that solid 9 out of 10. The only thing that could have made it better is if they actually had Coke products. Everything was like off-brand soda. Okay, maybe it's Turkish brand soda, but still, I want my Coke Zero. Coke Zero is a superior beverage. So we're looking for the D gates, so that puts us this way. One weird thing I'm noticing here is that it seems like Burger King is more popular in this country than McDonald's, because they got Burger King there. We had a couple of Burger Kings by the hotel. I've seen Burger King everywhere in this country, but I've only seen like 2 McDonald's. Here we go, gate D10. Yo, that was actually crazy. There was like 3 layers of passport checks just to even access the gate area. Like, we're not on the plane. We're just in the seating area by the gate. And you had to go through 3 levels of passport checks, and they sent some people to a secondary security sweep where they had to open their bags and like get residue testing and stuff. All of this to board a flight when you've already gone through 2 layers of security just to get into the terminal. Nuts. I think we actually take for granted in the US just how easy air travel is. I know it has its headaches dealing with TSA and stuff, but compared to a lot of other countries, even really developed countries, air travel is way easier in the US, simply because we don't have flights coming in from all kinds of places where security is not as tight, so they have to amplify their security in these airports where people are connecting to make up for the shortfalls in other countries. In the US, we just ban flights from those countries.
You can wait on the backside.
Thank you.
My friend.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's see what Turkish Airlines International Business Class has to offer us on this 787.
Hello,
Hi. First impression, this is super, super nice. So first thing I'll say is the depth of these footwells. I don't know how well you can see them on camera, but look how far out I can pull my bag, and then look how far in I can push it. That's nuts. That's gotta be like a 3 foot deep footwell. All right, guys, welcome to Turkish Airlines 787-9 business class. Just from poking around the seat so far, I'm already impressed. The seat is super comfortable, nice and wide. And right next to me here, you can see there is a storage closet. And right there is where the flight attendant came over to tell me I'm not allowed to film. So I'm gonna do some voiceover for a bit. As I was saying, this cubby is massive. It easily fits the amenity kit and my crossbody bag. The in-flight entertainment system was probably the best I've ever seen. It had a ton of movies, all different genres, even a lot of films from different countries and cultures. I guess that makes sense, given that Turkish flies so many places. They also had this remote and some live TV as well, where you could just control it directly from the touchscreen. Of course, it comes with a flight map, and it even has a nose camera and a belly camera on the exterior of the plane, so you can watch takeoffs and landings. The tray table had a ton of space, plenty big for even my 16-inch MacBook Pro. The amenity kit was pretty basic. It had some fuzzy socks, slippers, disposable earplugs, hand lotion, toothpaste, and a toothbrush. Nothing fancy, but it works. They did give you this pillow, and that was very comfortable. They also give you these really nice denim headphones, like genuinely better than a lot of consumer-grade headphones that you can buy. I was very surprised. They even make sure that you return them at the end because I think people try to steal these. The food menu was very extensive with multiple meals and snack courses. They also had a separate menu for alcohol and coffee, but I don't drink either of those, so it doesn't really concern me. First course has just arrived, so it looks like we have these 3 canapes. We have a Turkish meatball, some kind of like a spring roll thing almost, and I have no idea what that is. So let's try this meatball. Very good. I can taste some cumin in there, some paprika, just like a touch of heat on the back of my throat. But ooh, damn good meatball. We'll try this spring roll next. It's mostly just the dough. There's nothing really inside it, so I'm not entirely sure what that's supposed to be. And then this one is actually cold, so I have no clue what this is. To be honest, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think that it's meat. I think it's some kind of vegetable or something. Yeah, I don't really know, but I don't really like it. Well, guys, this is definitely a first. I have never had bread come in a pouch. There's a note about the history of bread in Turkey from 12,000 years ago. They also put down like a fake candle and some butter, seasonings, olive oil, everything we need. The appetizers have been served. They came around with a cart with like 6 or 7 different things on it, but these were the 2 that I went for. We had a salmon tartare and a Turkish beef kofta. Let's try the salmon first. Really good. Salmon tastes really fresh. Everything very nice there. I also gave this little bit of lemon here. Let's try squeezing that on. And now trying with the lemon. Really nice. I'm not sure what this is white stuff on top. It almost seems like a cream cheese, but it's not. Really good. And now here's one that I'm really excited about trying. Beef kofta. It's falling apart. Wow. It's really nice. There's like beef, minced onions, maybe some kind of nuts in there. There's something with like a little bit of a crunch, maybe like a walnut or something. Very, very good. Really good start. Yeah, that beef is almost like an empanada. It's like a Turkish empanada. All right, everyone, the main course has just arrived. Take a look at this. Grilled lamb chop, roasted red pepper, sweet corn, something or other. I forget exactly what it is. This smells so good. I can't even begin to tell you. Here we go, moment of truth on the lamb chop. Let's go. Really nicely seasoned, a little bit of salt and pepper on there. I think there's some oregano, maybe some cumin. It's a little more well done than I would like it. That tends to be a thing on airplanes. They never do medium rare or medium. It's always well done. We're gonna try some of this corn now. It's definitely like a sweet corn. Almost kind of, I don't know, the texture is really weird. It's soft, but there's like some lumps from the corn in it. I'm a little 50-50 on that. And then also comes with a choice of bread as well. All in all, the lamb is definitely the star of this dish. I would give this a solid 7 out of 10. And as if I really needed more food after all of that, we now have some vanilla ice cream for dessert. Let's give this a go here. That's not vanilla. Yeah, that's mango, not vanilla. What's funny is I don't normally like mango, but it's actually pretty good. It's super thick and creamy. It's not like a regular ice cream. It's almost more like dondurma, which is that very typical Turkish ice cream that they use in like the show where they like flip it around and you grab the cone and they yank it away from you. It's like that. I guess that's an appropriate way to end a meal on Turkish Airlines. So that's the end of the first meal service here on this Turkish Airlines flight, which means it's time for me to relax, watch some movies, maybe get some sleep. I will see you when the next round of food comes out. So right as I was about to get up and make my bed, a flight attendant came around and offered to do it for me, which was amazing. First time I've ever had that happen. He gave us a mattress pad, put a pillowcase on the pillow, set up a blanket, so all I have to do is just lay the seat down into the bed, and I'm ready to go to sleep. So I will do that, and I will see you guys in a little bit. All right, everyone, we are now about 2 hours and 15 minutes from landing. So they brought one more meal. I'll show it to you quickly. We got a smoked salmon. We have a semolina cake, a zucchini salad, and a baguette. And there's also a couple of more options that I think we'll be able to pick from after, but honestly, I don't think I'm hungry enough for them. So this will probably be the last thing that I eat on this flight. All right, first let's try this smoked salmon. Pretty straightforward. I'm not usually a big smoked salmon guy, but not bad. It comes with this one little prawn. I usually don't trust seafood on a plane, but today, why not? It's the end of the trip. Try this semolina cake. Oh. That was not what I was expecting that to taste like. I thought that would be way drier, but it's super, super moist. It's almost wet. Honestly, not sure if I'm a fan of that or not. I don't really like zucchini, so I'm not gonna try the salad and the bread we've tried already. So overall, I think I'm pretty happy with the food on this flight, but it's beaten out by Ethiopian Airlines. I would say that's probably the number one of my airline food. I would say Turkish has been number 2. All right, so with the flight winding down, I have a couple of final thoughts on my first ever Turkish Airlines business class flight. Overall, I gotta say this experience was really good. It's definitely the nicest business class seat I've ever had on a plane. Super comfortable, really, really enjoyable. I'll also say the in-flight entertainment is probably the best I have seen on a plane as well. Definitely the biggest selection of movies, and then also the ability to have the camera on the plane to actually see in front and below the plane as we're flying. Super cool, especially if you're an aviation geek like me. There were really only 2 things that I have some critiques on. One of them is the Wi-Fi. Similar to my Ethiopian flight, I could not get the Wi-Fi to work, period. Never got anything loaded, no texts, no notifications, no internet, even though as business class we're supposed to have a gigabyte of free internet. It says it connected, but it never did, and it just was not possible to use at all. The other thing was the food. Some of it was good, some of it was subpar. Very little of it was mind-blowing, and especially just coming off that Ethiopian business class flight about a week ago, I don't know how anything could touch that. Was it like perfectly acceptable business class food? Yes. Is it anything I would rave about? No. Honestly, I would say the food in the business class lounge at Istanbul Airport was actually better. There's also a couple of little like service details, like I've had garbage sitting here at my seat for the last like hour and a half, and the flight attendants have come by probably 20 times and not taken it. Not a huge deal, but like just little service things that I notice. And that's the kind of stuff that separates it from being a 10 out of 10 versus something a little lower. So all that being said, I am rating the seat a 10 out of 10, the in-flight entertainment a 10 out of 10, the food probably a 7 out of 10, and the service also a 7 out of 10, making my overall rating for this Turkish Airlines business class flight on this 787 an 8 out of 10. We're about to start our descent now, so that's all for me. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what airline I should fly next and where. Until next time, I'm Brandon in transit. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.